I guess we're going to start. Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars.
Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars.
Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars.
Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars.
Thousands of peninsulas, thousands of peninsulas, thousands of peninsulas, thousands of peninsulas, joined round the edge of a sprawling mainland. In these countries,
Sound was measured in pin drops and
time had no skin.
Words were understood by the spaces in between them, and
Anticipation grew on trees. Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars. Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars. Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars. Once upon a time, thank you. Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars. Thousands of peninsulas joined around the edge of a sprawling mainland. In these countries, sound was measured in pin drops, and time had no skin. Words were understood by the spaces in between them, and anticipation grew on trees. Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars. On one such peninsula, populated by orchards of dragon fruit trees, lived a girl named Gwendolyn Magnificent. Gwendolyn was, as her name might suggest, magnificent. In autumn, she would perch precariously on tree branches, guiding lost birds southward. In wintertime, she could remember the shape of every snowflake she had ever met. And when summer finally arrived, she spent her time building elevators in the sand for turtle eggs to hatch in. Gwendolyn spent her days content,
but lonely.
She filled her hours caring for her orchards of dragon fruit trees, picking the aphids from their teeth. Every day when the sun was highest in the sky, she would listen to the fruits chattering and laughing amongst themselves.
They sounded like an edible family. And it made her bones feel hollow like a bird's. She would sit under her tree and cry tears as big as her palms.
The more she cried, the stronger her trees became, and the saltier her tears, the sweeter the fruit.
The clouds that lived within shouting distance of Gwendolyn's peninsula
Good morning, Gwendolyn!
would look down on her, open their eyes, and storm as an act of solidarity. Sundays, however, were different.
That was the day that Gwendolyn would walk from her peninsula to the mainland.
36 smiles.
There, she would sell her dragon fruits to the people of the countries shaped like stars at the intercontinental market of pivotal miscellany. Now, the thing about dragon fruits is that they're actually quite docile. They only become ornery after they're picked. They make really good friends. They're quite handsome. Tell very funny jokes, good with moms, and the only thing in the whole world that they don't like are palindromes.
No, that I'm sorry. I'm just really sorry about that. I'm sorry. Anybody would like to maybe purchase it? The leather. Pink leather. Okay, just anyone? Dragon fruits? Come on. These fruits don't even seem to be on anybody's radar.
It's a palindrome. Radar, R-A-D-A-R.
The fear and misunderstanding associated with the consumption of dragon fruits made it a tough sell for Gwendolyn, and it was often a long and arduous day.
But one day, in the center of spring, something changed. A rumor started circulating throughout the mainland. Hey, come here.
Dragon fruits?
It's true.
Really?
Pass it on. Hey, come here.
Recently that maybe would make them want to purchase a dragon fruit. Anyone? Oh, yeah?
Dragon fruits have magic antioxidant properties.
Oh! Wow! Amazing, similar to the blueberry and the pomegranate and the acai berry. Put them in your smoothies in the morning. This is amazing! Dragon fruits! Dragon fruits! Dragon fruits!
This turned her sales upside down. She sold out of her wares in 45 minutes flat, leaving her the rest of the day to wander the expansive, unending, and zigguratine marketplace.
She stood distractedly amongst the smells of magenta and violent. It started in the morning in the east and the west and the north and the south. The peninsulas are best. They're coming to the mainland. They're coming to the mainland. 39 north and 86 south.
Fish popsicles! Fish popsicles!
18 west and 19 north south.
Strawberry binoculars help with problems ocular and fish popsicles! Fish popsicles!
26 west and 37 north south.
Electric paper! Strawberry binoculars help with problems ocular and fish popsicles! Fish popsicles!
19 north and 36 south.
Human-scented mustaches. Human-scented mustache is electric paper, strawberry binoculars, help with problems ocular, and fish popsicles. Fish popsicles.
One more time, it started in the morning in the east and the west and the north and the south, the peninsula of the best. They're coming to the mainland. They're coming to the mainland. And 99 east and 99 south cells.
Human-scented mustaches. Human-scented mustache is
Dragon fruits.
electric paper, strawberry binoculars, help with problems ocular, and fish popsicles. Fish popsicles.
And dragon fruits. She stood distractedly amongst the smells of magenta and dry Ireland. She looked north
She looks south.
and then right into the eyes of Bartholomew Spectacular. Now, Bartholomew was, as his name might suggest, spectacular. He spent his days knitting allegories into woolen toques. People would come for miles to seek his counsel and would leave with a lightened heart and a warm head. Bartholomew knew the constellations by name and would always remember to introduce them to people at parties. And in his back pocket, he kept an orphanage for words you'd wish you'd thought of at the time. She looked north.
She looks south.
And then right into the eyes of Bartholomew Spectacular. Hi.
I might never find you spectacular.
An agreement to meet next Sunday seemed well.
Seemed well obvious. See you next Sunday.
Yeah. One 167, 166, 165, 164, 163, 162, 161.
Gwendolyn spent the days that were not Sunday counting the hours backwards until she could see Bartholomew again.
99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, 92, 91.
Every day when the sun was highest in the sky, rather than crying in her orchards, she would think about Bartholomew, and she would laugh.
Ode to Bartholomew, colon, you're a specimen of man. From all the peninsulas, you're the fairest in the land. I used to cry in the orchards every day, but now I think of you in a spectacular way.
The next Sunday after that, Bartholomew started helping her to sell her dragon fruits at the marketplace.
So they could spend more of the day together.
Hi! Thanks.
You're welcome.
I wrote a song for you.
You did?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to hear it? Okay. This is the intro. A seed is just a seed till it gets some water. That's a little thing everyone knows. A seed is just a seed till it gets some water. We take little things and watch them grow. We take little things and watch them grow. We take little things and watch them grow.
A person's just a person till they're someone. That's a little thing everyone knows. A person's just a person till they're someone. We take little things and watch them grow. We take little things and watch them grow. We take little things and watch them grow.
A person's just a person till there's someone. That's a little thing everyone knows. A person's just a person till there's someone. We take little things and watch them grow. We take little things and watch them grow. We take little things and watch them grow. We take little things and watch them. See you next Sunday.
168, 167, 166, 165, 164, 163. Oh, to Bartholomew!
The next Sunday after that, they spent the whole day wandering the marketplace together.
Wearing human-scented mustaches and talking to each other in phony colonial accents. Bartholomew!
Gwendolyn, I do say that is quite the walk you have brought with you today.
Well, it is the walk to perambulate around the park. I don't know what other walk I would have brought.
You're a saucy mix.
It's because I see your tricks a mile away through my monocle. I was thinking perhaps we could go for some victuals.
Oh, yes. I do love victuals.
Well, maybe a spicy vindaloo.
Yes. Yes. I am a man who loves garam masala.
During the week, when the sun was highest in the sky, rather than crying in her orchards, she'd look at Bartholomew's hair and think about how it was sort of puffy like a hamster. He wasn't a hamster at all.
Nope. After 16 Sundays together on the mainland.
386 hours.
You counted.
Yep.
They decided it was high time that their friends meet one another. So, Bartholomew invited the constellations.
And Gwendolyn invited the birds. And together, they hosted a bit of a party. my friends and birds, I'm really glad that you guys could make it and finally meet Bartholomew in the flesh, because I know I've been like, blah, 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 and here he is. I hope you guys have a lot to talk about. You lay eggs, and he likes them, so maybe that's a good place to start.
Enchanté. Ravi de faire votre connaissance. My dearest friends, the Constellations, thank you so much for coming. Ursa Major, you're a rock star. Oh, Cassiopeia, thank you so much. I know you're busy. Orion. Yeah, Orion! This is the guy.
I like your belt.
Everyone, I want to introduce you to, well, my best friend in the whole world. And my beloved, Gwendolyn Magnificent.
Hi. I'm so glad to finally meet you guys. I gotta say, I'm a bit starstruck right now. Once upon a time, all the countries were shaped like stars, bowed up and into the joint round the edge of a sprawling mainland. In these countries, sounds measured in pin drops, and time had no skin.
Dance break! Words understood by space and anticipation grew on trees.
Words understood by space and anticipation grew on trees. Once upon a time, all the countries were shaped like stars. So, as I sort of mentioned earlier, I was a bit nervous to meet you guys for real in the flesh or whatever, but I thought, people are always impressed by homemaking skills, so I just a second. I did some baking, cumin scented mustaches, so you can just have one and pass them on. Just take one. I only made enough for one each, so enjoy!
So good luck! There it is! And just in case you're wondering, everybody, there are no peanuts, no bee stings, and no penicillin in the cookies.
There is cream cheese in the icing, so if you're lactose intolerant, sorry about that. Well, I know that you guys right now are maybe thinking, where are my cookies? I want some cumin-scented mustaches. Well, remember at the last party when I made the strawberry binoculars? I made them again. Okay, well, actually, I didn't expect there to be so many people, so they're sort of, strawberry monoculars, but, additionally, there was a great sale on blueberries, so, once upon a time, all the countries were shaped like stars, bowed up and into a joint round the edge of a sprawling mainland. In these countries, sound was measured in pin drops, and time had no skin.
Woo! Words understood by space anticipation grew on trees. Words understood by space in between them. Anticipation grew on trees. Do you move?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, all the countries were the same. So, of course, since this is a party, we need entertainment. And I know, right, you're thinking like, well, there's already sweet cookies and super charming hosts and sick mandolin playing. Right? So, what can make this party any better, right? I will tell you. Friends, constellations and birds and all you crazy cats out there, the only thing that can act as the cherry on top of this already magical evening, parlor games. That's right. And what is the greatest parlor game known to man or woman or beast? Celebrity Password! Yes, Gwendolyn?
I'm just worried that they're not going to know the same celebrities. You know, like Dodo, Galileo. How about Tess?
Well, this is a two-player game, darling. I know. Does anyone know a joke? Anyone want to tell a joke? Because I think The right joke, right about now, could make this party really crack-a-lack into bizzack, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Anybody want to tell a joke? Anybody? Yes? Yeah, right there.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
I don't know, what do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef.
Once upon a time, all the countries were shaped like stars. Found the peninsula joined around the edge of a sprawling mainland. In these countries, sound was meant to be opposite time. Had no skin. Words were understood, found space in between a man. Anticipation grew on trees. Words were understood, found space in between a man. Anticipation grew on trees. Once upon a time, all the countries were shaped like stars. Great party.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Cool.
Your friends are nice.
Your friends are nice too. And good at eating cookies.
I better believe it.
Yeah. So I guess I'll see you next Sunday. Cool.
Boss.
I love you.
I love you too.
The Saturday after the party, Gwendolyn woke up really early to pick her dragon fruits. And found that the tree bark was peeling. The fruit hung like empty chrysalids. Without her tears to nourish them, her orchards were as dry as chapped hands in winter. She looked up for answers, and the clouds' voices boomed.
What did you expect?
Having killed her trees, Gwendolyn felt very heavy with guilt. And all of the tears that had been waiting in her veins for the past 3 months exploded from her. She started crying with a wail that lasted 15 days. She ended off the month with a patchy whimper. When sunshine arrived, her tears were a tiny train struggling uphill.
Gwendolyn's tears pooled around her like a moat. And after an entire season of grief, she opened her wet eyes to find that her tiny peninsula had become an island.
And although the moon came and went many moons over, and the sun blistered her back, in her mind it was only an instant. And when that instant passed, she immediately remembered her beloved, Bartholomew Spectacular.
On the first hour of the first Sunday that Gwendolyn did not show up on the mainland, Bartholomew attributed it to her charming disregard for daylight savings time.
So he decided to wait.
Yep. After a week of waiting, he started to wonder if maybe he'd done something to offend her. He checked his neglected teeth in the mirror. Could that have been it?
And still, he waited.
After a month of waiting, he started to worry if maybe she'd been carried off by robbers or eaten by hungry wolves.
And still, he just waited.
After 2 months of waiting,
1,146 hours.
Bartholomew began to suspect, nay, he knew that Gwendolyn had found someone else. Someone resplendent. Feeling betrayed, dirt-blackened, and hungry, Bartholomew skulked back to his peninsula. There, he gorged himself on images of Gwendolyn and her new resplendent lover. Oh, when they're small, they're more potent. Ugh.
He ate so much that his belly expanded and expanded and expanded. And he leaned over and he opened his mouth and out poured every time he had ever run his tongue nervously over his teeth in her presence.
Out poured 2 pairs of socks left on a beach in February.
Out poured synchronous laughter that twinkled like a chandelier.
Out poured the irreverent mixture of fish popsicles and chocolate cherry chapstick.
Out poured shoelaces to tie a jar of fireflies to a branch, and buttons to count hours, and a potato-powered alarm clock set to go off 1 year to the day since they first left eyes on each other.
He coughed
And coughed.
and gagged,
And heaved.
and all of his love for Gwendolyn Magnificent left his body and floated away like a giant red balloon.
Trapped on her island, Gwendolyn tried to reach her beloved. She measured out in string the distance between where she stood and the place on the mainland where they would meet. She tied a tin can to each end of the string, and then she threw it as hard as she could towards the mainland. Bartholomew, is that you?
No.
Could you pass the line? Hi, this is Gwendolyn Magnificent. Are you Bartholomew Spectacular?
No, I'm sorry.
Could you pass the line to someone who's at least a boy?
Hello? Hello. This is Guinevere Mediocre doing a survey about animals. What's your favorite animal?
A lion.
Oh my goodness. What's your favorite food?
Rosolia.
In the twilight hours, she'd scan the horizon for him. From the island's highest point, the skeleton of the one remaining dragon fruit tree. Skeleton of the one remaining dragon fruit tree.
A person's just a person until there's someone.
She'd scan
That's
the
a little thing
horizon for
everyone
him.
knows. A person's just a
the
person
island's
till there's someone.
highest point,
We
the
take little
skeleton
things,
of the one
watch
remaining
them
dragon
grow.
fruit tree.
We
The
take little
skeleton
things,
of the one
watch
remaining
them
dragon
grow.
fruit tree.
we
The
take little
skeleton
things.
of the one
watch
remaining
them
dragon
grow.
fruit tree.
Back on his peninsula, Bartholomew watched the red balloon float higher and higher and higher. The sun bathed it in a halo of gold. He rubbed his belly, and it felt hollow.
At the top of her tree, engaged in a conversation about the advantages and also disadvantages of hollow bones, something caught the eye of Gwendolyn Magnificent. Up above her head was a giant red balloon. Balancing on her baby toes, she reached with her cuticles and reached and reached and reached and reached until she caught the balloon. Up, up, up it carried her. The red balloon holding the weight of Gwendolyn and her tin can telephone. The clouds' voices boomed.
Gwendolyn Magnificent! Walk on our backs and we will lead you to the peninsula just to the east of here!
Of Bartholomew Spectacular! Oh my goodness! Bartholomew! It's Gwendolyn! I'm coming! I'm coming! Don't worry! Just wait! It's me! It's me! Come close! Oh, it's over! She could see him below, small and hard like a peppercorn. But the balloon kept her high above his head, and no amount of tugging could bring her down to earth. She shook her hands in frustration, and down dropped the tin can telephone until it was right above his head. Bartholomew Spectacular, it's your Gwendolyn Magnificent.
Who?
Bartholomew Spectacular. Pull me down to earth and you'll never be lacking for dragon fruits.
I hate dragon fruits.
Bartholomew, we were going to live together in my orchards.
I know.
And have parties for the birds and constellations until we got old.
I know.
You were supposed to be my beloved forever.
I threw up all my love for Gwendolyn Magnificent. I never want to hear her voice again.
Bartholomew Spectacular. If you won't pull me down to earth, then I'm going to have to come to you.
Following the distance in sky between their two peninsulas. 36 miles. Gwendolyn's body broke into millions of puzzle pieces. Bartholomew rushed forward and tried to piece her back together, separating rubber from skin, string from teeth. But it was no use. Grief came to him for an entire season. And when he opened his wet eyes, he looked up to find that his tiny peninsula had become an island.
And on that island, he lived out the rest of his days, talking to the birds and the constellations.
Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars.
Telling them stories of a love
Thousands of peninsulas joined around the edge of a sprawling mainland.
that had once been magnificent.
In these countries, sound was measured in pin drops and time had no skin. Words were understood by the spaces in between them and anticipation grew on trees.
Like stars.
Once upon a time, countries were shaped like stars.